I
We
didn't
are
notice
now
either.
recording the February 5th, 2021 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Friday!
happy Friday.
Didn't think it was ever going to get here. Phew, what a week.
It's an easy week if you're not an accountant.
Well, it depends what side of the coast you're on, too. Like, we had serious storms this week on top of it all. So,
But just, God gave you that so that, you wouldn't have to look outside and go, if I didn't have to do this, I could be in the beautiful weather. It just was like, oh, it's ugly out there anyhow.
Good point.
you might as well be
Yeah,
sitting
isn't
in
that why
front
all
of a computer.
Shouldn't all accountants live in Minnesota then?
No. No.
In
can't all be
addition, I had
miserable all the time.
hardware problems. So software is down, hardware's problems, Qbox upgrade fail, QBO sales tax fail, W-2s and 1099s needed to be in by Friday. Last Friday.
And Monday.
Yeah, we didn't tell clients Monday on purpose.
No, I didn't either. I told them that if I didn't have it by the 20th, it wasn't happening.
So what happened then, Shannon?
I didn't do my reviews. So when my employees do all of the year end, I still review it and make sure everything is there and right. And that was primarily what I was working on. So most of it was fine with Qbox being down, but then it was still down all day Monday too. So
For you, yeah.
If you didn't have the latest file, you had to actually go do it the old fashioned way, call the client up and say, send me a backup.
this is what we were passing around on
It's
Monday.
a hard drive.
The hard drive. So yeah, that's the big question. What do you do? Because you know what? I have not done anything with an accountant's copy or backup and restore since I've been using Qbox.
We're spoiled. That's what I told him. I said,
We are.
Well,
I'm so used to it just being there, and I'm like, we had to go back to the old-fashioned way of doing it, and I was surprised at how many people really didn't understand what Qbox does. So
I
they didn't
know.
that they could just go into QuickBooks and open their file. They didn't even know that.
I know.
I
Should
was
I-
surprised at that too.
Should I speak for all the QBO advocates out there and go, well,
Yeah,
Well,
except for QBO is down all the time
yeah,
for
so
that.
QBO never goes down.
not for 2
Sales
days.
tax was
It's
down,
been down for 2 days.
which can
I
be
have a
problem.
question about sales tax. I think I have
Now,
a,
what happened with the sales tax?
I have no idea. It was just down or not
Is-
working.
does that mean QBO sales tax? Because when my client pays it, it goes to taxes and licenses. And if I try to aim it to sales tax payable, it won't go there. It says it has to go to an expense account. So I let it go to taxes and licenses, and I journal entered it on the same day over to sales tax payable. So I don't know. I guess I don't know how the
Sounds as
QuickBooks
if it
Online
was-
works.
It sounds
Well, you
as
have
if
to
it was
pay
not
it through the,
set up properly. The
Yeah,
sales tax
something's wrong.
item was not set up properly. Needs
Yeah,
to be
when I
pointed to
got
the
it.
liability account and not an expense account.
Huh. Well, I went into where it said it was set up, and it there wasn't a place to point it. So I'm not obviously in the right place. So I don't usually
I
do
don't think
sales
you-
tax, and
I don't think you can point it anywhere. Sales tax automatically has to be when you make the sale, it increases the liability. And then when you pay the sales tax through the sales tax portal, you can't just write a check to sales
So,
tax. You
wait a
have to
minute.
go in through pay sales tax.
I couldn't find that. When I go to sales tax, there wasn't a place to pay the sales tax. Well, I mean, what do you mean the sales tax portal? I guess he didn't have that set up.
No, it's part in desktop.
No, I'm talking about online.
Is it
Which
turned
I-
on in
You
the
go into taxes and then sales tax. So that on the left-hand side, it's going to
Yeah.
be taxes. You click on that and that's your sales tax window. Or
Right.
And the only other thing that's usually there is it's either going to be sales tax or payroll tax.
Yeah,
And
but I
then
couldn't find a pay the sales tax.
Do you
So-
have the new portal or the old portal?
I don't know. He just hired me, okay?
We can talk. We can troubleshoot that later, Linda. I'll help you with that later.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you
But-
guys are.
Yeah, he's making a lot of other mistakes too. He's charging everybody California sales tax, people that are in Florida, people that are all over the country. It says he owes 29,000 in sales tax and he paid 9,000 in sales tax. So
If
there is
He's
something
an
wrong
expert
here.
with this.
if he gets
program.
audited, he'll have to refund all that sales tax that he charges to people in other states.
What a mess.
He still has the money.
What, it won't he? It's, yeah, and I don't want to be involved. I'll refer him to somebody else then.
Yeah, I'd back out of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried
There's-
to back out of one. Oh, this is the problem with you've had the same phone number and name your whole career, and they can find you.
They can.
So I got this phone call. We're pivoting. But talking about so many different programs and are we up, I am really strong at desktop. So Quicken, remember that?
Yeah, I used that.
Yeah. So I
Oh, God.
maybe late 80s and the 90s somewhere. I used to drive down to this gated community south side, and it was the most lovely lady, and I helped her with her little Quicken, and anyway, she'd make me dinner, and anyway, this long time ago, big family in town. And so I was getting phone calls from somebody with the same last name. So I Googled it, and he owns a whole bunch of restaurants, and I'm like, okay, so
Ooh.
refreshing. I'm like, okay, that's the son. Anyway, I finally get in touch with him, and I said, is whatever your mother? And he said, yes, that's why I'm calling. And I'm like, why'd I answer that? I'm like, oh shoot, I was hoping it was like maybe on a board somewhere or a lead for me, So mom's 81. Her Quicken is all messed up. She's stir crazy with COVID. I'm like, I have not done that kind of work in forever. I don't know Quicken. I just, and she was on QuickBooks. I set her up on QuickBooks. He says, please give an old lady a thrill and give her a call.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, she was hysterical. This woman is she still has her sense of humor. And I asked her, now, are you familiar with Zoom? Oh, yeah, my grandkids and her Bible study and all that. And anyway, so I thought, how hard could this be? I'm a techie, okay? I'm like, it's Quicken. I should be able to figure it out, right?
It's a completely different beast than
I know, but I
QuickBooks.
thought, how hard can it be? So we did the Zoom, and she's fumbling around, and she finally gets the audio, and then she figures out how to turn her camera on, and I can see the top of her little white head in the ceiling. And I said, I can see the top of your head, and all of a sudden this face. He goes, well, that's my best part. I mean, so I was enjoying myself until I got into that piece of software. So, an hour and a half later, I mean, she had talked to somebody from a nice lady from Pakistan, and she had talked to the bank, and there have been neighbors. Everybody's been trying to help her since September. Her bank account was in 4 times. Her bank balance was wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
I got one of the bank, I got it all hooked up, pulling in everything. We finally got it reconciled. Everything was happy. And oh my gosh, she's a new person. So I don't ever want to see the software ever again.
Yep.
I want to
We
hide
still
or
use
delete those.
Quicken every day for all of our finances.
You do?
Oh, you're what?
I'm going to give her your phone number.
Home finances.
I got this nice little old man up there in Idaho.
She's just a sweetheart.
She'll
she,
make dinner.
5 QuickBooks files, Quicken Files. And the one she's using is somebody named it Nightmare Number 2.
Oh my gosh.
So
Good
I'm like,
name.
now I'm a desktop person. I would know what to do to change that name. And I'm like, and so I poked around a little bit and I'm like, I better leave that alone. And then I wanted to delete all the duplicate checkbooks, but I was scared of that too. So I hid all that. So I think she's happy. I know just enough to be dangerous, but that is the most non-intuitive piece of software I have ever seen. So anyway, so that was my her eldest son called me today and he said that mom called and said that your halo is shining.
Well, there you go.
So
Sarah,
we do tackle stuff that we don't know, and it's just like the sales tack. I mean, you get in, you try to figure it out, and it's, you know, at some point you have to know when to back out. But I mean,